lovely Cancerians. I always do a channeled message beforehand. Yours was explode, explore, retaliate. That is not very Cancerian. It's not very water sign. Even though crabs are very kind of resilient, you have a really hard shell. Explode, explore, retaliate. Whatever next. Oof, the Two of Cups. Right, let's have a looky. See, grab yourself a drink. I've got a Denby cup and I've got a coffee. Half caffeinated, half not. Let me know in the comments, oof, what you've got. What are you drinking? What did you have for breakfast? I'm just plain nosy. Okay, so we start with the Two of Cups. Venus in Cancer. Two of Cups, of course, good for relationships, good for cleaving together with somebody, business partnerships, love. But bearing in mind that we have this whole kind of retaliation vibe, this resistant, and I also kind of get a bit of a disruptor vibe about you. This is not you. I mean, Cancerians, you know I love reading for you, okay? You're probably my most popular sign still. And normally water sign, you know, sign of the mother, sign of the moon, resistance and resilience, not the first thing that would spring to mind. But things change. And you had an eclipse, and this is going to go back and back, okay? I can't even remember when it was. It might have been 2022. Someone have a look and let me know. But you had some eclipses around that time. And I noticed a change in your reading. And I just noticed it was when you were just examining boundaries, people in your life, things that you were tolerating rather than enjoying, things like that. And now, 4 years later, we kind of bear the fruit. But that is a lot more like what I'm seeing. That put together with that, it's like, I am willing to kind of, to let this burn rather than step into something false or continue something false. Now, this could be happening in any area of your life. This could be in all areas of your life. This could be in your work life, your love life. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating, because it feels very resonant for me on your behalf. And then the Four of Swords. Rest, recuperate, lie low, preserve energy for what really, really matters. Not everything deserves this kind of high level attention. You know, there are many things in your life that are just going to continue, that are just routine, that can just slip by, that are just all right. But this is, I would say, something high stakes, something that's meaningful, something that's worth the fight. Oof. By the way, lovely Cancerians, do hype this video if it's even starting to resonate for you, because then it does get out to other Cancerians. YouTube loves it. Now, I can tell you how to do it, because frankly, I just learned myself. So if you're on your phone and the comments are underneath, you kind of push the comments to the left, and then it will say, you can hype this video. And you can, and I would be massively grateful. Let me know, drop me a crab in the comments if you can hype the video, or even if you can't. Right, what's this all about, please? Tell us a bit more. What is the resistance point? That's a lot. Let's just look at that one. I'm going to take this. We're getting into it, okay? The yellow hoodie's coming off. Got me my team crab. There we go. Surfing a wave. Right. Not just any Three of Swords either. This is the Anna K Tarot. And I think this Three of Swords is just so resonant. We've got the house in the background. we've got this sort of very disappointed and dishevelled person. And then we've got this woman who looks in control. Now, no, she's not like screaming with laughter. She's not going to do a cartwheel down the hill at any point soon. But she holds the swords. And I'm going to say, lovely Cancerians, that you hold the sword. Heavy is the hand that holds the sword. You hold the sword. Now, swords, what do they represent? Thought, speech, communication, intelligence, all those things. Now, you are a water sign. Swords are air, so you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, as Cancerians very often are. Also with the fire, you could be dealing with a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries. But anyway, when you get the Three of Swords, it's like this goes much deeper than the actual situation itself. So whether this is a love relationship, and I'll look specifically at relationships in a minute, or whether this is a family situation, a situation at work, or whether there are flavours of this that are coming out everywhere. It's a lonely place to be holding the swords. It's a lonely thing to know that you're right. You know, I'm now getting a real kind of channel message of you, and you're on top of like a windy mountain. You know, you're at the top of a mountain, there's no one else there. You get this bird's eye view of a whole situation. Suddenly you can see it, only it's not sudden. This has been coming for a really long time. Okay, I'm just going to write that down. So this has been a long time coming. Yeah, you can see it all. There is clarity. So while it seems like an aha moment, like most aha moments, it's not really, it's not quick, it's not immediate, it's not just beamed down. This started ages ago. You started seeing it ages ago, even from when you were little. It's quite hard to hoodwink a Cancerian. Let me know what you think in the comments, but in my experience, Cancerians are quiet usually. And, you know, they could be in a room, almost hiding in plain sight. And an employer or a person, whoever it is, might just think, you know, so all do that. They're quiet. They do what they're told, you know, because to the most part, us water signs don't like confrontation. So I think some people labour under the misapprehension that you're never going to stand up for yourself. I've seen a Cancerian stand up for themselves. Jesus Christ. It's almost like when a ghost comes in a room and the temperature just drops. When a Cancerian finally decides to open the tin of whoop-ass that they've quietly been carrying for ages, look out. And that's what I think is happening. Now, very interestingly, this is not the card that I thought we were going to get right now. But I'm always pleased to see it because this is a gorgeous card. We get the Knight of Cups. I get a couple of things for this. Obviously, the Knight of Cups is a lovely card because it's someone coming in with usually a romantic offer or a friendship offer or just something nice. I mean, for God's sake, the man's actually gone out and bought a proper bunch of flowers. Let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment. You know, we're celebrating that they are not chrysanthemums from the garage. We've all been there. So many chrysanthemums. Bad daisies. I know. This is a good posy. He's even smelling one. Now, someone buys you flowers, that's one thing. Someone bothers to buy you properly scented flowers. Old school. Cancerians love old school. Anyway, I digress. Right. For some of you, this is what you get when you push back. Not pretty, okay? But And not what you should be doing deliberately, as in, let's just say, not giving someone an ultimatum because you want them to come back with a better bunch of flowers is an example. In fact, not giving someone an ultimatum at all. Ultimatums are weak. And you're not weak. This is resolute. You are resolute. You are strong. It's giving me an itchy nose. I'm going to take one more of these and then I'm going to take some love cards with Scarlet or love and relationships, because this may be love and it may be, oh lordy, it may be family, it may be friendships, it may be any kind of social construct, okay? What's he doing here? King of Swords. Do you remember back in probably around 2022, because I've been doing this a long time. Do hype the video if you've been with me a long time. Most of you have been with me a long time, actually. So hello to everybody. If you've been with me a long time, just long time and a crab. Okay, this guy, this dude could not keep out of your readings. He represents different things. He represents controlling bosses. He represents patriarchy. He represents controlling parents. He represents narcissists. He represents people in love relationships that find it very difficult to express their feelings. Now, you need that like a blow to the head, because a Cancerian, I'm not going to say you go expressing your feelings to everyone, because by God you don't. You're a crab, you've got that shell for a reason. But, you know, when you're in, you're in. You are my top sign to marry. I'm going to, you know, I should do a video on that, shouldn't I? I should do a video on who, you know, who to marry. I'd get in so much trouble though, because I would end up, you know, you're still going to end up with someone at the bottom who will remain nameless. And I'd be like, never. Okay. But anyway, you'd be number one. That's suffice to say. So when you're in, you're in. Oh yeah, what's going on? Woof. 8 of Swords. First thing we get, okay, in love and relationships. 8 of Swords. So trapped in some way. Usually mentally when it's the 8 of Swords, like you can't quite see a way out. So I'm intrigued by the top and the bottom card. Ooh. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh. Okay, Christ. You've got a lot going on in love and relationships. I'm taking one off the top of each of 3 piles. I'm just going to write that down and then I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Do you remember this guy up here? And I had a very clear picture of pushing back, saying no, let's just call it refusing the cheap garage flowers, which is a catch-all for any kind of lo-fi offer that you may be getting, you know, low to mid. We're not low to mid, okay? We're mid and up, or just up. And how this might change the behaviour of those around you, not just somebody in a love relationship, but in all your relationships, in the dynamics of your workplace, in the dynamics of your family, in the dynamics of you and the world. You kind of go up and the behaviour towards you starts to improve. Now, I can't stress enough that this is not a game. This is not a gimmick. This is not that Cancerians are big on games and gimmicks, because you're not. But us water signs, we can sometimes, because we're shit at ultimatums, because we're just not, that's not the way we roll. If you're not authentic and in alignment, if you're not in alignment with your feelings, it doesn't work as a water sign. So when we try and do an ultimatum, it's just such a weak position. Okay, so if you're in a position, particularly in relationship of whatever kind, where you really want it to move to a level that it isn't at the moment, you don't do this as a trial or a trick. You do this because it's too painful to stay the same, and you just don't accept that. It's not in alignment with the value that you know you have. Okay? Comments, please, because I that really pushed a button for me. Okay, we've got another 8. This is bloody interesting, if I say so myself. There will be an extended love reading as well. I do an extended love reading after this. In the extended love reading, we go granular, you and them, side by side, 2 decks. Bridge in the middle, which is another deck. What brings you together, what pulls you apart. We have a good look. We get, along with the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Cups. Saturn in Pisces. Always a card, often by a beach, I suppose, and even in the Rider-Waite, someone's on a beach, red cloak, dodgy wellies, you know, slipping around on some rocks. Imagine that as your stalk off, you know, when you're like, and then you sort of do your big walk away, you know, mic drop, and you're in a bloody Mac and some wellies that don't fit properly. You're on wet, slippery rock. We all know what's going to happen in that mic drop moment, isn't it? I know, nobody wants that. Anyway, 8 of Cups is always distancing yourself from something or someone you love. Because Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is the taskmaster that says, you're worth more than this. You know better than this. I'm not letting you do this. No matter how many feels you have caught. You create distance and they come closer. Whether you want them after that, I can't answer that part for you. But that is the vibe. It's like they sense your, it's not even, it is power, but it's not that they sense your power. It's that they sense the spotlight has been taken off them. They sense the removal of energy. They sense the void that has been created, and it draws them closer. Does that mean they're right for you? Does it mean they're a good person? Does it mean that job is a good fit? Does it mean anything? No, it just means that the energy has changed. You then make, the power's then on your side, okay? You then make the decision in your own time as to whether that's enough for you, as to whether it's good enough for you. We get the High Priestess. Love the High Priestess for a water sign because she's basically moonology, you know, she's moon driven, intuition, like all of us water signs and you Cancerians particularly. It's like the inner plumb line of wisdom. You feel it. You can feel this happening. And I'm really glad, because when you genuinely feel it, you can't go back on it. So don't ignore the signs, the dreams, this reading, whatever it is that comes across your path. With the Ace of Cups, yes! Ding, 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 ding. Hello, cat. Ace of Cups, self-love first. It's an ace, okay? It's almost like a 0 card because it's starting from 0. Self-love, self-alignment, and universal love. And that universal love is directed towards you, back at you, like a fountain. You keep filling yourself. If there's enough spilling over for someone else, they'll be in your vortex, they'll be in your periphery, they'll be in your view. because you've created distance and it brings it closer. This will also be the case for things like jobs, prizes, money, whatever it is, but particularly in relationships. 3 of Cups, keep your connections, keep your friendships, keep your self-love, but also your love for other people, going out, doing things, connecting, being interested, being in the world, being connected with others. Very important for water signs to stay interconnected. And then the Page of Cups. Now, remember this guy. This guy's really important. The Knight of Cups has learned a lot since being a page. The page is like the apprentice, stumbling around with a fish in a cup. Would you like to come on a date? You know, it's not particularly pretty, the Page of Cups. It's not. It can be just a text. It can be an apology. It can be, it's messy. It's the beginning. It's the start. It's maybe what happens before you distance a little and say, let me think about it. And then the Knight shows up. Oh, how about now? And you're like, maybe. I like this vibe for you. I like this vote of confidence. It's also, frankly, not a choice, because this is happening during May 2026, okay? In the year of our Lord, 2026, this is happening. You've been feeling it for a while. I know you have, because I've been doing your readings for like 8 years. I'm like, It's spicy, it's self-love, it's elevation, it's what you've been waiting for. And it's just the formula that's needed. Woof. Okay, I'm going to go and do the love reading. Yes. You and them, swing, swing, side by side. And we just kind of peek under the covers, as it were, and see what's in the shadows as well. What is connection and what is rejection? Okay, what pulls you together? What keeps you apart? The link is below for that. Go refresh your beverage, and I will see you on the other side. Namaste.